Item 8B, hold public hearing, waive first reading, introduce ordinance imposing a 2.446 rate increase requested by San Bruno Garbage Company for 2009-2010 to be effective July 1, 2009, as presented in the notice of proposed increase mailed to all property owners. Mr. O'Leary.
Mr. Mayor, members of the City Council, the city's franchise agreement with San Bruno Garbage calls for rate adjustments in an interim year that is related to the CPI adjustment that has occurred in the prior 12 months. Last year was a detailed rate adjustment that looks at and analyzes both the revenues and expenses of the company and sets the ratio and the rate for that period. The interim year, as I indicated, according to the agreement, is set at 80% of CPI. The CPI adjustment actually for the last 12 months is a negative, is a small negative number, 0.17 or it's 0.18 negative actually is that 80% of CPI. In addition to the CPI adjustment, the company is eligible for pass-through adjustments in certain instances. One of those instances is when the company faces an increased cost for disposal and landfill costs. The contract the company had with their disposal location expired last September. The company went through a process and identified a variety or a number of landfills and attempted to get quotes, and in fact the best they were able to negotiate was at 40% increase in the disposal costs. The company is eligible to pass that through to the ratepayers in accordance with the franchise agreement, and that adjustment is actually $8.89 higher per ton for the disposal costs. So the retroactive adjustment back to October 1st and for the next year would result in a 2.63 adjustment just for this pass-through. So the combination of the negative 80% adjustment to CPI and the increase in the disposal costs results in a 2.46 rate adjustment that is a contractual obligation based on the franchise agreement. Back in the same time period as we talked earlier, the City Council directed that a Proposition 218 notice be sent to all the property owners in the community. Technically, there's some question if that's a requirement of Proposition 218. As the Council did last year in an abundance of providing information to the community, there was the directive that that notice be sent to all of the property owners, and again that was initiated and done on March 27th of this year. An ad hoc committee of the council, the mayor and Vice Mayor Ruane has reviewed the elements of the adjustment and recommend its approval. This adjustment would take the rate for a 32-gallon toter from $21.80 per month to $22.34, an increase again for that. The staff report does indicate additional rate adjustments between the existing and the proposed rates. Also, the staff report details 12 cities and the various rates. Some of them have pending rate adjustments at this time. It notes that the high for garbage rates is really in Pacifica and Hillsborough. Lower rate cities include San Mateo and Foster City. The city of San Bruno is in the midst. It is equivalent to the rate in South San Francisco. It is 15 cents higher than Millbrae, although That is the, in Millbrae, I believe that's the adjusted rate in Millbrae to be effective July of 2009. With that, Mario Puccinelli from San Bruno Garbage is in the audience. Both he and I would be glad to answer any questions the council might have.
Any questions of staff at this time? Okay, this is
Through
a
the chair.
public hearing. Oh, excuse me, Councilmember.
Mr. O'Leary, did you state that the 2.46% increase was represented 51-cent increase? Did you state that?
I think the staff report might say that, but I think the calculation might be a little bit different.
Yeah.
Oh, and, yeah, I skipped over it because I wasn't quick enough to do the math in my head there. But it's I believe the existing rate is 21.80 and 22.34, so it would be a 64-cent increase. And I should point out, again, related to the notices sent out, related to Proposition 218, as of this afternoon, when we put together the list of protests, there were a total of 21 protests submitted, and checking with the city clerk, at this time, we don't have any indication that there were additional protests for the garbage rate adjustment. So the 21 is, at this point, what we recorded.
Any questions of staff at this time? Okay, this is a public hearing. Anyone wanting to address the council just needs to go to the podium and give your name and street name for the record. Did you want to?
Just maybe a suggestion that the garbage containers be available on a smaller size. People are using less garbage, putting in less garbage.
They are available on a smaller size. You just need to call and request
The
a
smallest
change
one is the
in your
gray one,
service.
right?
Pardon me?
The smallest one is the gray one.
Is the 32 gallon, yes.
Is there something smaller than that?
No, there's not.
I never filled that up.
Okay. Anyone else wishing to address the council?
I'm Jeanette Vanderby, and I live on Cedar Avenue. I was wondering, have we ever considered another garbage company? Or would that be a no-no?
Well, that
Like
can be
waste
done.
management,
That can be done.
other
There's a
cities have-
contract, and maybe the staff can help me. What's the term of the contract? How long does it go?
I believe the franchise agreement was entered into first in 1998. It was either 96 or 98, and it was for 15 years, and then was actually, the council several years ago voted to extend it for an additional 5 years.
Okay, so do you know what the current expiration is? It's
I'd have to look. I'm not
Okay.
positive.
There is a franchise. I guess the easiest way to answer is there is a franchise agreement between the city and the garbage company that
Right.
runs for a number of years, and when that expires, that consideration comes up, and then at that time, the city council can judge the service and the rates that they're receiving compared with other carriers. In fact, I forget what the Joint Powers Board is in the South County, what they're actually called, but they serve a number of cities,
Right.
and they just went out to bid, and in fact selected the same service provider that we have here in San Bruno. So, but
Okay.
when that does come up, that's when it would be looked at.
Okay. You don't wait until the last minute, I hope. You
No,
do it ahead of
no,
time.
no, I think
You
the program in the South Bay doesn't start for a year and a half, and they've already are in the process of having made their decision. Okay, you're welcome. Anyone else wishing to address the council? Not, is there a motion to close the public hearing?
So moved. Second.
Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Questions from council or action from council?
Through the chair, move to waive the first reading.
Second.
Motion and a second. Any discussion? All those in favor?
I'd like to introduce the ordinance for adoption.
Roll call, please.
Councilmember Ibera.
Aye.
Councilmember O'Connell.
Aye.
Councilmember Medina.
Aye.
Vice Mayor Ruane.
Aye.
Mayor Francella.
Aye.